Hey, everybody, welcome back to the PPC Questions and Answers show. My name is Jason Rothman. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, the great Chris Schaefer, the man who wears a white undershirt under a black t-shirt.
Ouch. You saw it? I thought I hit it. Okay.
So today's question comes from Matthew. He's from the East Coast, no doubt, I would assume, but he did not tell us where he's from. So Matthew asks, do you guys bid on a client's business name when managing AdWords, assuming they already rank number one when the name is searched? I've always been against it, but have heard arguments that are slowly changing my mind since the clicks are usually super cheap. Matthew wants to know if you should bid on your client's brand name, Chris, even when they rank organically number one and no one else is advertising on them. Chris, what do you say? Because I feel strongly about this.
Well, you added something there that Matthew did not say. You said when no one else is advertising.
Assuming they already rank number one when the name is searched.
And you said when no one is advertising against them.
Okay. If they rank number one, Matthew, and someone else's ad is above their name, then come on. He's not asking us that, Chris. Then he would obviously bid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just to clarify, if someone's bidding against that brand name, if there's any ads that are showing up for that, then Jason and I agree. Yes, you should bid on those. I think the more important question is not necessarily something that you asked, Matthew, but that I have to address is how do you go about bidding it? Because I think the answer is usually yes, it's fine. But I think the approach is where people get where they get things wrong. And let me explain what I believe is the right way to do it. The right way is to isolate brand searches. And this is not something that I see people do. I see campaigns where there are brand searches scattered throughout all the campaigns, all the ad groups. And so you get brand clicks, getting conversions, on what's supposed to just be a search campaign to generate new leads, but instead you're getting a bunch of returning traffic and high conversion rates and high click-through rates, which are brand terms. This is the wrong way to do it. The right way is to have a brand-only campaign that is dedicated to brand, and everywhere else is a negative brand keyword to keep that keyword from showing up anywhere else, so that you can monitor truly what the returning traffic is getting and what the non-returning traffic. Let me say that again. So you can monitor what the brand traffic is doing and the non-brand traffic is doing. You want to make sure that you know when people are searching for something other than your business name, that are, as far as you can tell, have no idea that your company exists. You want to know how they react to your page. You do not want to know how just everyone reacts to your page. You need to split that information separately so that you can have a conversion rate of returning consumers and a conversion rate of non-returning or new visitors to your site.
Right.
That's it for me.
I like that, Chris. I respect that. You're a respectable guy, a respectable AdWords manager. You're going to break out that data into a different campaign. So am I. So is everybody who's respectable. But Chris, what I want to hammer home here is every single business should be advertising on their brand name, even if no one else is, for a variety of reasons that people don't ever talk about. Number one, Chris, yes, Matthew, you should be doing this. I've never felt more strongly about anything in my life, Chris, except for my love for my girlfriend. Number one, if you had a business at a location and on the door it said the name of the business, would you not put a nice big sign above the business so more people could see it? Or would you be like, oh, well, we already have the name on the door. It's in the first listing. Well, guess what? Some people don't see the first listing. Some people scan all over the page, and some people are going to miss it. So why not be listed twice? Number two, it is super cheap, Chris. Number three, you never know when someone is going to start advertising on your name, and maybe they're doing it at times you don't check your computer or in places you're not located. So I would always be there to protect my brand. The next reason, Chris, increase your overall account quality score.
Did you forget what number you were on?
Of course not. Of course not. Now, Chris,
I stopped you. I know. Go ahead. Please continue.
you forget I know things about you, bro. You forget I can say things on the air?
No, because you started the episode calling me out for having mismatching T-shirts. Thank you.
Now, Chris, well, I just don't know. Like, yes, I'm wearing an undershirt because I'm wearing a polo shirt. But if I was wearing a T-shirt, would I be wearing an undershirt? Unless I wanted to hide things. No.
I sweat a lot. You know, it's Texas.
Chris, back to the numbers here. Account quality score. Why not pick up some bomb click-through rates, you know, on the cheap? Yes, Chris, quality score on the domain, quality score on the account. Do I know how that stuff works exactly? Did Google send me the black book on quality score today? Of course not. No. But I do know that good click-through rates help. I do know that good account data helps. So why not get that on the cheap? I like boosting things up with a little bit of brand action. And finally, Chris, intelligence, data, search terms, okay? Learn the way people think about your business. Just because you're running a brand campaign, Chris, it doesn't mean that every single brand search is going to be the name of the business and that's it. You're also going to see things like if the guy's name was Big Jim's Auto Sales, you might see Big Jim's Auto Sales convicted of fraud, 1991. Big Jim's Auto Sales, former felon. And maybe people think about you that way, and you have to come up with a little reputation work to increase your reputation. Or if you own an apartment complex, the paid search podcast apartments of Dallas, Texas, and people search the paid search podcast apartments, bad air conditioning, paid search podcast apartments, bad air, like broken air conditioning. Maybe people think your apartments have bad air conditioning, and you did not know that. So now you can come up with that copy that says you have a brand new air conditioning system. I'm just saying, Chris, you're skeptical, but you shouldn't be, Chris. You look like a guy that just moved. You should be. Chris, I'm telling you, this is exciting. Chris, I see some things in big brand campaigns. I see wild things. People searching about people's wives, people coveting other people's women, like people searching for people's home addresses. Like there's some interesting data that you can pick up from a brand campaign. And I think it's worth running because of that. And then finally, Matthew, I see your email address, which I'm not going to give out to the world here, but I see it. And you work for an agency. And what I want to tell you, Matthew, is you're failing shady agency practices 101. Like you can't sell a client on a brand campaign. Like if we're trying to run an agency here, Matthew, and get people hooked into AdWords and get them some good results and get them, a little fear going, like, oh yeah, people can show up on your name and get your clicks. If I'm running an agency and trying to sign people up and trying to retain them, one of the things I'm pushing is brand campaign. So it's good for that reason too. Just being honest.
Yeah. Well, I think what Jason's trying to say, Matthew, is that you're doing a good job of being an honest agency. So
yeah, Matthew, you are being a little too honest because you know what, Matthew, your friends are your enemies. People will steal your clients behind your back. Happens to the best of us every day. Chris, 2 days in a row. It's I'm shook.
Careful. Gonna get us a age.
What is that? Controversial? Demonetized?
Yeah.
Come on, Chris.
All right, come on. All right. Well, it's supposed to be you're obviously.
Oh yeah, close the show.
You're supposed to
Matthew,
close the show.
Thanks for the question. Bye, bros. Chris, hit the button. And girls.